Hello again, everyone. So we got some more of these combat Choro-Qs. This is Wave CCQ-09. And it's a bunch of German vehicles, it looks like. Or technically they're not, because they created their own little German thing. Although it does say German vehicle set. It's just that that's not a German logo, I don't think. That's supposed to be a German version of the Choro-Q logo. Right, so it's interesting, some graphic design work. I cannot make sense of any of that Japanese text, but fortunately on the back, they have some English. Although a 6x6 armored vehicle isn't really specific, hopefully on the bottom they'll say something. So those three I can definitely look up. But what's not so good is the back coin holder doesn't tell you what the vehicle is. It just says German vehicles and an outline of the vehicle it's on. This whole collection came out in 2000, so pretty old. Might be older than some of you guys watching this channel. So you gotta remember, this is a different time of toy manufacture. Not as advanced, crude perhaps. I'm sure these things are quite cheap when they were new. I have no idea how much they would have cost. If you do know, please leave a comment, because it helps set the value of things, right? But if I had to guess, I bet this cost less than like $5. Just guessing, totally though. But this is a rarer toy because it's actually still made in Japan, not China. Interesting. Or I think ChoroQs might be made in Taiwan now. Nothing else here, just that graphic, right? They have this little cardboard divider. I'm not sure why they would even do that. Like, it's just a waste of cardboard. They could have just easily molded 4 pockets instead, right? It's really strange. They weren't thinking about all the pollution that's in our bodies from, stuff ending up in the ocean either back then, I guess. And sadly, I think even today a lot of people don't care. Alright, so this is the 6x6. The question is, what is it? Does it say on the bottom? A Puma. Alright, so I'll be back. So the images you see here of something called a Puma. It's an armored car, of course, with 4 axles though. And you can see ChoroQ clearly just skipped an axle entirely. They actually did this with another truck, this one actually, which we'll talk about later. I reviewed that I actually reviewed that exact one already. This is a duplicate apparently. But anyway, so yeah, as you can see this thing, this truck in the real world or armored car weighed 10,000 kilos. And it would be powered by a Tatra V12 diesel, making around 210 horsepower. It has independent suspension on each wheel, and it could go 56 miles per hour or 90 kilometers an hour. Yeah, alright. And then the gun, they would have different size guns, I guess. So there's different variations of the code name of this is the SdKfz 234, but they had a couple of variations within that. So I'm not sure which this is, to be honest with you. It seems to have a rounded gun mantlet, I think it's called. A little shield around the base of the cannon. Alright, and you can see it doesn't actually move up or down, I don't think. Nope. So, but the turret will turn. And the turret has paper stickers on it for the German flag there. The body is just this cast tan color, and they sprayed a little green and brown on it. One thing that does match up with the photos is how the front is angled so shallow, so it could bounce off, firearms. And then it's also angled on the back side as well. So, interesting. The armor was between 9 and 30 millimeters thick. So it could, withstand machine gun fire and pistols and all that stuff, but there's no way it could withstand a tank shooting at it, or even an anti-tank weapon, I believe. Okay, well, there's some details here. The hatches, a sight window, some venting over the engine area, some hatches to access that engine, a little shovel, maybe some storage. I'm not sure what this would be. Not sure. This is more storage, another hatch, driver's hatch maybe. Headlights are just extruded in that direction so they're not round. Screwed together front and a tab in the back. So no date as to when this series came out, but it seems to be casting number 18. Okay, and the tires are still soft and rubbery. They're not super soft, but they're definitely rubbery. Well, they're starting to harden, and these are pullback toys. But I don't play with my stuff. If that hit a wall at high speed, I think you'd break the turret off. Alright, well that's the Puma, even though it's not really, it's missing an entire axle. What's weird is the Germans had 3-axle vehicles. They looked like this. I don't know why Choro-Q wouldn't just model that instead, right? It's a big discrepancy. Alright, so this one I reviewed before, the ChoroQ Prots. And yes, there's supposed to be another axle back here. And this is a troop transporter. You know, people would be sitting on these benches back here, but you can have a machine gun turret, well, on a stand. It's got some spare wheels, but they don't match the actual brown wheels of the Choro-Q stuff. Headlights, grill detail. I already reviewed this, so I'm not going to go into too much. Alright, now we got these guys. Do they tell us on the bottom what they are? Alright, we have a German 8-ton half truck, and then the Opel half truck. I'm going to assume this is the smaller of the two, so let me come back. So after the Germans invaded Russia, they quickly realized that regular, tires couldn't go through such soft environments. So they decided to take these Opel trucks and put on half tracks so they have more flotation over the soft environment. So look at this thing going over this berm. So that's the reasoning behind this thing. So naturally it'd be used to haul troops and cargo and tow artillery or whatnot. Okay. Over 20,000 of these trucks were built, and clearly some survive. Look at these guys having such a blast. They're having such a good time. Isn't it nice when people aren't trying to kill you? Okay, this thing has a 3.6 liter, 6-cylinder from the Opel Blitz. Doesn't say the power. I think it only go like 24 miles per hour because, this is a lot slower than a tire, right? Okay, well, let's see. We do have the standard Choro-Q motor in here with the tires. It does tell you what it is again here. And then there's no date, but it is made in Japan. It's casting number 17. And then, yeah, the half tracks. I feel like they could have easily made those lower. Right? Why is this so raised up? Right? That track could have come down a lot lower and made it look a little more realistic. So it's this raw tan plastic, it looks like, and then they sprayed the gray and brown, possibly shot it with a matte clear coat after because it's not very shiny. The extruded headlights here, the grille is part of the base, I'm guessing here. There's literally that sticker of the Choro-Q themed German flag, I guess. They have some crease details in this canvas top, and there's no windows whatsoever. That's interesting. Why would? Well, alright. I mean, why isn't there at least a windshield? Okay, then there's this all blanked off, some little tarp vents there, and then German vehicles. It would have been better if it said all that stuff on the bottom here, I think. This is a coin holder if you wanted to do a wheelie, and then for some reason all these combat things have tow hitches, but I've yet to see a trailer. Alright, yeah, it's okay. I'm still going for this one for my favorite today. And the last one is, again, the German 8-ton half truck. So the German code name for this is SdKfz 8, and it was designed by Daimler-Benz, as of like Mercedes-Benz fame. And it was primarily used as a tow truck for wheeled artillery and large cannons that could be towed. But as you can see, with the seats and all that, they could also be troop transporters as well. And amazingly, this giant thing could get up to 32 miles per hour according to Wikipedia, or 13 miles per hour if it's actually on dirt and going cross country. Let's see, it says like 4,000 or so were built during the war there. Okay, let's look at this toy now. So again, I'm not sure why they choose to render the tank tracks so far above the bottom of the front wheel. Like either drop the tracks down more or raise the front wheel more and they'll look more realistic, even though it's a cartoon car. Same plastic as the others with the same camo paint job. The front end, we have some headlights. We have the 3 grill openings with slots there. Some venting in the hood. We got that sticker again. We have the detailing, a different type of detailing. It's a different canvas top entirely from the last one. And no windows again. outlines of those seat areas, but there's no seat at all. You just see the exposed gear motor right here. Little gears right there. Okay, it's got the standard 5-spoke Choro front wheels, and then yeah, that stuff again. I gotta say, these are actually some of the deeper tank tracks I've seen in the ChoroQ Combat series. A lot of them are much more shallow than that. There's a coin holder if you want to do a wheelie, and then the tractor hitch, the tow hitch, but I don't know if they ever made anything for these to tow. Maybe they're just future-proofing and then never got around to it. I don't know. No year, of course, and then it is made in Japan, standard construction, screw and a tab, and it is casting number 20. Alright, well, let's take a look at, oh, little hatches there. I didn't catch that before. Yeah, alright. Let's look at a few other vehicles if we can get them on the plate. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get all the other ones on here, but I got a different set of other German, special vehicles. So this is a Hanomag SdKfz 251/1, and that's got a turret up top, and then we have a different green paint scheme. This looks like this is a Kubelwagen based off of Volkswagen Beetles, like the Jeep of the Jeep version of the German Jeep, basically, of its day. So I'll put that up there. Oh, darn it, we'll get back to that. This next one is an armored car. It is called the Funkwagen. I love that thing. KFC 223. And then this heaviest of the tank tracked vehicles, I think, because it has like literally a turret up there. The DMAG 250/9. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can get those back there. Maybe this. The Germans had so many vehicles in the war. It's quite amazing, really, the amount of design they put out. I guess you kind of have to if you try to take over the world. They invaded Russia and Poland and then tried to take over England. Alright, well, luckily that, I think for most of us, luckily that's Hitler's dream never was fulfilled. Otherwise, we wouldn't have much multiculturalism. I mean, if the Germans won, they would probably go and eradicate the Japanese after the fact, right? So, not the Germans, the Nazis, let's put it that way. Not all Germans were bad, it's the Nazis that were bad. Kind of like how certain factions of America are bad. The KKK, for instance. Okay, well, that is today's collection of combat ChoroQs. There seem to be many more collections. I'll just have to see if I can get them. Alright, we'll see you then if that happens.